Alright, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another collaboration beer. This time between Trapp Brewing, and they are out of Stowe, Vermont, and the Counter Weight Brewing Company, and they're out of Cheshire, Connecticut, and this is their Stowe Style Tmavé Pivo. So they're calling this one a Czech-style Dark Lager that comes in at 4.5% alcohol by volume. 30 IBUs, and at the time of review, I don't know exactly how old this can is, but it does have a best by date of April 23 of 2023, which means that we are about, I think it's just under 3 months away from that date, so this should be relatively fresh. Now, we have another Czech-style Dark Lager that I'm reviewing on the channel. If you couldn't tell, over the past 6 months or so, this has become one of my favorite low ABV lager styles, and I thought this would be fun to review because it's from Trapp. I've reviewed about a half dozen beers from them on the channel or so, and they do a great job with low ABV lagers, and I've had 3 beers from Counter Weight, never reviewed anything from them, but I've enjoyed what they do as well, so I think this is going to be pretty good. Let's find out. Crack it open, get it into the glass. So yeah, anyway, really excited about this one. It's just the Czech dark lagers to me are just exactly kind of what I want from a low ABV lager. I like the darker styles in general. You know, like when it comes to German beers, I love Schwarz beers, right? More so than like Pilsners and whatnot, right? So makes sense that I like these Czech style dark lagers. So yeah, that kind of looks like, in person, it looks probably quite different than it's going to look on camera. On camera, it might be like a dark brown. You probably can't see through it. In person, this looks like a Dr. Pepper or like a root beer or something because it has like a very dark ruby red color. Hold up to light, yeah. It has like a very dark ruby red color. At the bottom, it gives you like cola, Dr. Pepper, root beer vibes. Has about 1.5 fingers of a straight up light brown colored head. Very creamy looking, not going anywhere. Looks like there's some decent carbonation. Plays the role for a Czech style dark lager, and I just smelled it. It smells awesome. Oh yeah. It just has that brown bread, little bit of like a molasses drizzle. And then I'm getting a little bit of like a baker's chocolate, coffee roast, little toasty notes as well. Oh, it smells so good. But then the hops are providing this like floral, slightly spicy, but more like a floral earthiness. That breadiness is so awesome. It's like toasted brown bread. Kind of like a pumpernickel or something in that realm. Like it has like a specific kind of bready tone to it. But it doesn't smell like overly sweet. It just has, you know, brown bread, molasses, baker's chocolate, roasted coffee, a little bit of a roasty, toasty malt character. Yeah, it smells so inviting. So let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. That is really good. Really good. Stylistically speaking, at least from a German-style dark lager, you know, German-style dark lagers brewed here in the U.S., this is one of the better ones I've had, hands down. Body's like lower side of medium, almost approaching medium body, 4.5%, bigger than you expect. The mouthfeel has a good, crisp, moderate carbonation, but it has a smooth, slightly creamy kind of finish to it, which I really enjoy. And I think it's from the head itself. Almost whipped cream-esque. But the taste, yeah, the nose carries over. What I love about this, it has a nice, firm, dry, slightly bitter component on the back of the palate on the finish. But right up front, again, toasted brown bread. You could say pumpernickel, maybe even rye, because there is a little bit of like a spicy hop character. So you could think maybe like rye bread. But that is the first thing that hits me. There's a little bit of molasses mixing in with that. I wouldn't say baker's chocolate. Is more like a 50 or 60% cacao bar. And then there's a lightly roasted kind of coffee note. There's roasty, toasty notes from the base malt itself, like just getting like a grainy kind of sensation, and it's more like a toasted grain bill. Flavor-wise, passes through the palate. There's a nice malt sweetness that kind of builds and then hits mid-palate, kind of peaks, and then it starts going down. And on the finish, you get this floral, earthy, almost slightly spicy hop character that this finish is full-on dry for me with a mild to moderate bitterness kind of smack dab in the middle. And it just makes the drinkability of this beer through the roof, because after you get all that malt goodness up front and then that sweetness peaks mid-palate, man, it turns into something that's just ridiculously drinkable because of that dryness and bitterness. 5.4%, you can't taste the alcohol, you don't expect to. I could drink a lot of these, and I could drink 2 or 3 of these in a single day, even with some of the health issues I've had over the past couple of years. This is a low enough ABV beer where I could have 2 or 3 over the course of the day and be happy doing so, because this is a delicious beer. Now, I don't remember where I have rated all of these Czech dark lagers I've reviewed. I think I'm up to about half dozen, maybe 8 of them I reviewed on the channel, something like that. Maybe not that many, but the Schilling one was the best to date. Is this as good as the Schilling one? I don't know where I rated that, but I got a pretty firm rating in my mind. I'm going to say stylistically speaking, because this still isn't my favorite style, so I have to kind of go stylistically. This would get a high 4.75. This is like a 4.8. This is just extremely well done. Within the style of the beers I've had, this is up there. Personal preference, where do I put this? Tmavé Pivo from Von Trapp and Counter Weight. We'll go high 4.25 and go 4.35. I think that's a fair score. This is a really good beer. This is up there with the Schilling Modernism, I think was the name of it. Just a damn tasty beer. Price point and availability. Great price point too, because a lot of times with Schilling, the aforementioned Schilling, I love Schilling beers. I'm going to review more from them. Their price point is a bit high. It's a little bit higher at the brewery, and then when they make distro, it's a bit higher. So beers like this are typically anywhere between like 14 to 16 bucks in distro. This I picked up for $12.99 a 4-pack. I got one can, and I think it was like $3.29 or something, but it was $12.99 a 4-pack for this. That is a great price point for something that is this good. Like, it's a great value. The availability, I have no idea. Wherever you see Von Trapp, you probably should see this. I don't know how far out Von Trapp gets. Let's see if they have recycling, kind of like Schilling does. Yeah, it just says Vermont, Maine, Vermont, Massachusetts, Maine, New York, and Connecticut. So those 5 states. I don't know if they see distro outside of them, but that's definitely what the can says in terms of recycling. If you can get your hands on this or get your hands on Von Trapp, I highly recommend doing so. Their price points are great. Typically, their 6-packs are like 10 to 12 bucks, and they make a lot of different low ABV styles. And this might be the best beer I've had from them. If not the best, it's up there with a couple others. It's just a great beer. So if you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. The best thing about this beer to me is the drinkability, but also that dryness that increases the drinkability. I love all that like toasted brown bread and everything, but if it's too sweet, it's going to not be balanced enough to want to drink more, and this is balanced enough where I want to drink more. So appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.